Hi, I'm Grandma Judy. I know I'm old. Look at those wrinkles. But guess what? That just means I've lived a long time, so I've gone through a whole lot of different things in our world. And my world was so different when I was younger. And I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I think it's part of old age. But, I had 5 kids. I was married to one man over 50 years. And, well, that's the way it was back when I was young. We didn't just go flitter-flitting to from one to the next all the time. I mean, getting one set up where they know who you are and you know who they are is hard enough. But with 5 kids, everybody's going now, the population's going down. It's such a hard thing. I'm going, let me think about this. My 5 children, I have one that had 5 children. So we've got 5 so far. The second one had 3. So now we're up to 8. The next one had 3. So now we're up to 11. The next one had 7. So now we're up to 16. Okay. So my husband and I produced a total of 21 children so far in this world. Oh, did I mention the great grandkids? Because I think I'm up to 7 on those right now, too. So, no, I think my husband and I did our job on helping to populate this world. And I'm so happy about it. I'll tell you what, being a grandma and a great grandma is so much easier. And I love Amazon. Oh my God, did it make Christmas easy? Everybody just sent me what the kids wanted and stuff. And I'd pick out one thing for each of the kids. Amazon delivered it and everything. All I had to do was pay for it. Yeah. So that was a great thing. But you know what I really miss? I miss every night sitting down to a dinner at the table, having the family all sitting around and talking about what was going on, what happened at work today, what the sports things were that the kids were doing, what everybody was going on about. And, our kids, because now my children now are in their 50s and 60s. Okay. I told you I was old. But so we had a whole different world back then. I mean, the kids could run and play and off with their friends. And they did all the time. So it was very, very different than today. Today, we don't have a lot of choices. We don't dare let the kids out of our sight. Why? Because there's too many yucks out there. Ooh, we don't want them getting hold of our babies. So we have to have them in activities where they're protected. And then we find out the coaches are part of the problem. That's like, what do we do now? Well, I think if we were still all sitting down at the kitchen table every evening and everybody was doing what's going on and who's going on, and all of a sudden one of the kids starts shutting up about their coach. Well, he's okay. She's all right. Well, that's the clue to start looking into and finding out what's going on. It might just be that the kid's been sloughing off and not doing his, what do they call them, sprints or something, and not participating properly. So he's dragging it down or she's dragging it down. But it might be something else too. So make sure you keep an eye open. And you can learn that so much better at the kitchen table. Nobody has to make accusations. Nobody has to have a big to do. All you have to do is listen to the kids and to your spouse and find out what's going on. I mean, I could turn around and go, because I didn't work for the first, until the kids were all out of school, or in school, I should say. 3rd grade was my mark. Yeah, it took me a long time to get there because I just kept having babies. But anyway, it was so much fun But the kids would sit down, and my husband and I would sit down, and we would have a meal. We knew what was going on. We knew what everybody's plans were. You know, we're planning a vacation. Who wants to go where? Who wants to do what? Uh, we lived on a farm, so there was always chores and stuff that had to be done. Did everybody get the chores done? Did you check that cow, see if she's acting like she's ready to give birth? Whatever. So life was just really different. Oh, and we had 3 TV channels, not 5,000. I mean, who can watch 5,000? So, and they turned the TV off at midnight. I know. The American flag would come up and they would do the Pledge of America or whatever it was. And it was like, really? Very, very different from today. And I knew who my neighbors were. I knew where they worked. I knew their kids' names. And if one of my neighbors gave a call over and said, Judy, your boy threw a ball through my window. And I go, okay. She goes, well, it's half my son's fault because he didn't catch the ball. So we had split fixing the window. But it was different then. You didn't call the police and carry on and get a lawyer and all this nonsense. You just talked to each other. Today, people don't talk. And I don't know what to do about all of these people out there protesting the police and thinking that illegal people that are here in our country illegally should be able to do whatever they want to whoever they want, whenever they want. I'm like, no, they can go home, find out, fill out the papers, and if they don't have any criminal records, we can let them come back in, and then they can get legal jobs and go to school and all the things that they want to do. So to me, that just makes more sense. I think the only people that are making money out of this are the people that are taking it away from the poor immigrants. And they're not really immigrants. An immigrant is somebody that applies for permission to come into our country. A non immigrant is an illegal alien. And I don't mean the kind that come out of the sky. I'm not sure I believe that, but I'm hoping we'll find out in my lifetime. But please, sit down at the kitchen table, talk to your family, find out what's going on. You would be surprised at how much you can learn with just a little conversation and not an interrogation. Because nobody likes to be interrogated. But boy, finding out what's going on in the school, if they're okay with their schoolwork, if they need a little help someplace, um, if they're doing, if something's going on with a teacher that doesn't seem quite right, or maybe they've noticed somebody that's hanging around the neighborhood that they don't know. Those things come out at the kitchen table. And then we, as parents, grandparents, and neighbors, can take care of it. Yes, we can. We can call our police. We can make sure that the person knows that we're watching them. First thing a bad guy does when he knows that you're watching him is leave. I know that turns him into somebody else's problem. But if you write down the license plate number or call your local sheriff's office or whatever, the information can get out there. But if we don't do anything and we don't learn anything because we're not talking to each other, we're talking at each other. So let's sit down, have a meal, get together. Now, I know that everybody can't sit down 7 days a week and have a meal like we did when my family was young, but I bet we could do 3. And it would be a great way to find out what's going on. And it would give the kids a center where they know, okay, I have to be home at 6:30 on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Oh, yeah, and then we're going to church on Sunday, but that's okay because I just get out of bed and take a shower and I'm gone. so that they don't have to plan that quite as much. But yeah, let's make sure that everybody knows that we're going to hear them. We're not going to give judgment. It's a conversation. And we need that conversation back in our families today. So please, this is the time to say, "Ah, I put on a pot roast and I expect everybody to be here at 6:30. Period. Can you bring your friend with you because you're hanging out and doing sports or something? Sure, why not? Can you sit in front of the TV and ignore me? No. We're sitting down at the table. We're saying a blessing. We're having communications. So I thank you all very, very much. Please like and subscribe to Grandma Judy. It's very important. YouTube makes a big deal out of it. I don't get put out there if you don't do that. So thank you very much. Have fun. Remember, our families come first because that's what our whole country is built on. Bye bye from Grandma Judy. You notice I still have to look for that little spot on my thing to turn it off. Come on, there it is.